All right, so we are recording. So I wanted to talk to you guys tonight about social media and just some tips and tricks and things that I do slash use to make my social media look better and brighter. Because I do obviously love bright things, hence Granger's shirt right now. I don't feel the best, so I hope that you can like hear me okay. It's honestly just a cough. I'm pretty sure it's just bronchitis. It's not COVID. But I'm gonna try to keep this short just to respect everyone's time and everything, and obviously, I just wanna go to bed. So one thing I wanna talk about is pictures and how to get them, like, crisp and clear. So if you saw my post just a couple of days ago, or maybe it was yesterday, Granger was sick, and so I took a picture, um, like, not in good light, and I'm gonna pull it up for you in case you didn't see it, and it's not like it was a horrible picture, but it's not my normal crisp and clear picture. It was this one, hopefully nope, you won't be able to see that because the screen's too bright, sorry. It was this one right here. Okay, so it's not a horrible picture by any means, but if you look at my other pictures on my feed, it is a lot less crisp. And it's because I took it in a setting like this. Like right now, I don't have any good lighting on me. This side of my face is very like lightened, and this side is very darkened. Okay, so like I wouldn't take a normal picture right now. What I do, and I can't show you right now because our team Zoom is at 9 o'clock my time, and that's obviously it's pitch black out. But I stand in front of a window, so pretend my computer's a window. I'm going to stand in front of that, facing it, and that way the natural light goes onto my skin. Okay, so I definitely still don't want to be like this because then this part is going to be really shaded and there's going to be some awkward shadows. So I want to be straight onto the window, and you can still put your phone up. I mean, be careful there's not like a shadow or anything. But I want to show you the picture that you'll get by doing that compared to what you wouldn't. So let me grab one here. This is one that I took of Granger, which obviously you're not gonna be able to super duper see, but I think I can turn it. I didn't edit this picture at all. This is just because there was natural light on him and it's nice and bright and crisp. Okay. And so let me see. I don't know if I have another window one because I've done a lot of stuff where I've done like traveling and stuff, so I haven't had to worry about it. But that was unedited. Okay. And so what I like to do once I have them edited is I use the Lightroom app. There's obviously a bunch of different editing apps that you can use, and you can even use just the editing on your phone. But I'm a photographer, and so I'm very familiar with Lightroom, but it's really not hard. It's actually a one click thing. And I'll show you what I mean here when I pull it up. Excuse me. And I wish I could make it bright on here so that you guys could see, but I don't know. It might actually let me share my screen. Hold on a sec. Maybe I can. Excuse me. Mm, It should already be trusting my computer because this is my computer, but maybe it won't let me. Hold on a sec. Let's try one more thing. And if it doesn't let me, then I'll just go on. Oh, no. Okay, it's not gonna let me. Okay, well, I'll just turn my phone then. That's fine. So I'm gonna import that photo that I was just talking to you guys about him in the high chair. Okay, so I just imported it in here. Okay, and I know that's really bright, but all I do is I go click on my presets way in the right, and I click preset. Okay, and I've got a bunch down here. So I've gone through to figure out which one I like, and all I do, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to click this off from the side. I literally click it, boom, one click, and it's brighter. That's all I do to edit my picture, so I don't have to sit there for 20 minutes per picture editing it. And how I found the preset and why I wanted to mention it was because I just searched on Etsy, which I'll type that in the chat for the people on, is ETSY. And there's an app, and it's also etsy.com, whatever you want to do. And if you just search preset, you can find one that you like. So like I love bright colors. So I like mine to be bright, but I also like to make sure that my hair stays like the color it is. You know what I mean? I used to use a preset that made it almost look like blonde-ish. And I just realized after a while, I was like, oh, that like doesn't even look like me. And so I finally found a preset that I like that doesn't change my colors, it doesn't change my skin tone, stuff like that. But my profile is pretty bright. Like I like my profile to be bright. So if I show you my profile right now, I'll try to turn it. You can tell for the most part, it's pretty bright besides a few darker shirt pictures. Okay. If I go to someone that I look up to in the business, just for an example, my friend Hannah, you can tell that it's not that her posts are bad compared to mine, but they're not as bright. They're more of like this neutral tone, like a, I don't know if it's sepia or sepia. I've never actually figured out how to pronounce it, but whatever that is, it's more of that beige-ish tone. And it doesn't look bad, but it looks uniform all the way down. And that's also why I use presets, because I want them to look uniform. And so it doesn't really matter if you use a bright one or maybe you use one of a pink one or something like that. It's just the fact that you want it to look nice and uniform throughout. It's just going to make the, I think it's called aesthetic, I think is how you pronounce it, of your profile just look a lot better. And so that's just something I wanted to mention. So I think I went through that part. Yeah. Presets Lightroom. Okay. The other thing, so I straightened my hair today. That's the first in like, I can't remember the last time it was straightened or done. So I don't get ready every day. I do not get ready every day at all. Most of the time, my hair is in a mom bun, hardcore. And so what I do is I get ready one day. And so like tonight I won't because obviously it's too dark. But like tomorrow I'll probably get ready again like I did. And I'll take a few different pictures. And what I'll do is I'll edit them just like I showed you. But then I'll go to my Instagram. And then what I do on Instagram is I can have drafts. And so I don't have captions on these usually yet, but at least I know my pictures are here. So if I go to my Instagram drafts, I know you can't fully see them, but you can see, and I traveled, so some of these obviously are from my trip, but these are all the pictures that I have ready to go. So I don't even actually have to take pictures right now because I have all of these. But even without my trip ones, I still have 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I still have 20 without my trip one. So if you didn't count my trip, because some people are like, well, I don't travel that much right now, so I don't have pictures. I still have, if I just said 20, I can't remember the number I said. I need to go to bed. 20 drafts. And so I just take a few, maybe a few will be of just me, maybe some will be with Granger, maybe some will be with my cat. It kind of just all depends, but I don't get ready every day. And so basically, if you need how to do that, because I link my Instagram and my Facebook. So I post the same thing on Instagram that I do on Facebook, so I don't have to do it again. So if I'm trying to find a different picture. Okay. So if I go to Instagram, okay, I've just pretended I'm going to create a post. I click my picture. Okay. So it comes up. I can zoom out to make sure it's like placed how I want it. When I click next, it's going to ask if I want to edit it down here. I don't use the app to edit, so I just click next. And here's where it comes up. So I can type my caption, do whatever. If I go back, it's going to come back to the editing. And if I go back one more time, it says save or discard. Okay. And that's how I save my draft. So I can save it and then it would pop up right where those top 4 are right there. And sorry, they're kind of bad picture. There we go. Those top 4 sorry, are the first 4 drafts that I can see. Does that make sense so far? Don't worry, Danielle, I got you. We're gonna have a training on it. You're good. You're good. So like I said, either way, my main point is I don't have to get ready every day, and that is what I want because as a mom, and even not as a mom, you just don't want to get ready every day if you work from home. You don't want to have to, and so that just helps me be able to do that. So I just wanted to read what everyone said. Okay, yeah. So Danielle is it from Fayetteville? That's it? Okay, Fayetteville, North Carolina. She's married and she has 6 kids. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Thank you. I hope I feel better too. Granger seems to be better. He's keeping stuff down, so that makes me really happy. And Haley is from Statesville, North Carolina. How close are you guys? Is that like close-ish? 2 hours? Okay, that's not bad. All right. And you have, is that supposed to be I don't know what you said, Akita? Did you mean
Yeah,
Kaito?
yeah, he's an Akita. It's a rare breed to have in the United States because he's mainly a Japanese dog.
Oh, it's a dog.
And
Okay, I was like,
yeah,
I'm not following at all. I'm sorry.
you're
I'm
good.
such a cat person, and I don't even think I know some of the cat breeds, but I was like, is it
I used to be a cat person. I had a calico cat. We had to give her to my mom, but yeah, he's a pretty good dog for the most part. With and Akitas, they're mainly like a really smart breed.
Oh,
And
okay.
again, he's a brindle color, so it's really rare to have that kind in the United
Yeah,
States.
that's really cool. Well, I like his name. That reminds me of the Vampire Diaries.
Thank you. Exactly.
Yes, I love it. I love it. Okay, sorry, I get really screenshot. Oh my gosh, really distracted by the chat sometimes, but I wanted to like look at that. Okay, so the other things that I wanted to share are pretty quick here. But if you were on my previous Zoom last week, you might have heard me say this, but it's never a bad thing to repeat it. Um, I don't share stuff on my profile very often, and the reason I do this is because Facebook, for sure, thinks that like if I share Danielle's post, it goes, oh well, Brooke doesn't think her post is important, so we're gonna boost Danielle's up more. That's how Facebook does it. And so if I see a post that I want to share, if it's like a one picture, like if it's a meme or something, I just screenshot it and then I post it to my profile. And then when people share it from my profile, guess who gets the goods and cents? Me, instead of the person that posted it, which depending on the post, that's fine. You know, meme is totally fine. A big post, that's different. And I'm not saying I never share, but just think about how much you're sharing on your profile, because if you have like, let's say you just found a bunch of memes that day and you shared like 15 of them, and then they go scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll to see an actual post by you. You know, maybe it's an update of your kid, update of your dog, whatever it is. They have to keep scrolling through that to be able to find your actual post. And so just remember that. So I don't usually, I would say like 2 to 3 things maybe I share a day, but that kind of just depends on the day. You know, maybe a memory will come up of Granger that I'll share, or a really funny cat post, or there was some teacher ones today that I thought about sharing, you know, things like that. But I'll try to space them out. And so like if you find like a bunch of memes that are really funny, what I would do is screenshot them and save them to your phone, and then you can use them. You could basically like have one for every day. You know what I mean? So that's something to think about too. Um, Someone talked about on a Zoom I was on earlier, or maybe even yesterday, to be mysterious on your story. And I know I haven't talked about much with stories, but I was talking about how to get more interaction on stories, and they had said when you share a recipe or share like food that you're making, because I have a lot of people that ask for the recipes that I'm doing, but I almost always put the recipe on the actual slide, or oh, this baby, or I like talk about the recipe as I'm making it. Well, they're like, I would rather have hundreds of messages flowing in. Oh, how did you make that? Oh, how did you do that? And get that interaction on them coming back to my stories rather than just giving it right away. So that was something that actually was even new to me today. So I wanted to share it with you guys. And then something back to just normal posts and just your social media in general. Think about this, and I'll probably say it twice. If people aren't buying your products or joining your team, what are they getting from following you? Let me say that one more time because it's really good. If people aren't buying your products or joining your team, what are they getting from you? What are they getting from your profile? Are they getting encouragement? Are they getting like anxiety advice, or like anxiety podcasts, or postpartum depression podcasts? Like, um, I don't know, Danielle, I think you said your babies were in the NICU, but if not, like babies with Down syndrome, you know, things like that. Like, are they getting things, you know, that like things that people think they're thinking alone, you know, like, oh my gosh, I'm the only person that thinks this sort of thing. What are they getting from your profile if they're not buying or they're not joining your team? That's what you want to think, because they are following you for a reason and you might not even know what it is. Because I didn't know what it is till we had this reverse gossip session at conference, which, long story short, someone sat in the hot seat and everyone went around and said complimentary things to them, instead of obviously like talking behind their back, which we don't do anyways. But it was really, really sweet, and I had absolutely no idea that I impacted so many people, and it was just really cool. And so there's people following you right now that you have no idea you're impacting in a way, and you're impacting them. And so it's just something to think about. If they're not joining your team or buying your products, what are you offering them? Along with that, that's what should be in your bio. And so if I go to my bio right now, um, my bio says Daniel's wife. So obviously I'm married. I say Mama to Granger. I'm a C-section mama. I'm growing my faith. I'm probably at Hobby Lobby. I'm a band teacher, and I'm a fur mama to Raider and Xena. And then I have my photography link there as well. And so obviously I talk about Daniel. Duh, I talk about Granger, because why not? I talk about my C-section decently often. Sometimes I'll go for a while and talk about it. Sometimes I back off on it, kind of just depending on what I feel like I want to write about. I do talk about my faith, especially on my stories. Hobby Lobby is harder to write a post about, but when I go to Hobby Lobby, I am all about like, oh my gosh, look at this. Oh my gosh, should I get this? Like Hobby Lobby is my jam. I could spend hours in that store. And then obviously I talked about teaching and I still talk about teaching. And then I talk about my cats and I have cat highlights. So all of those things are me. And so if people are coming to my page, maybe they're a wife and they're looking for marriage advice. Maybe they're a mom and they're looking for anything mom related. Obviously, I talk about my C-section. I talk about my faith and share the things that I'm doing that's working for me. Um, Again, I explained Hobby Lobby. I talked about teaching, and obviously, I talk about my cats too. So, like, I post about everything that's in my bio. So, I know that some of you haven't got that in your training, and that's fine. But I want you to think about what's in your bio and feel like if you could share posts on it, or if you could like inspire others because of it. I just want you to think of it after this Zoom and go check it out and see if there's anything that you can like add to it, or maybe you want to get rid of a few things. Just kind of think about that after we're done. Um, the other thing I want you to think about with that is you want people to be able to know you. Dang it, sorry. You want people to be able to know you through your social media. And so when I'm talking about that, I'm going to talk about my friend Hannah, who's actually going to be our guest speaker next week. So I'm really, really excited. So put that on your calendars. But I know her and I don't know her in person. Okay, so I'm going to tell you all I know about her through her social media. Okay, so I know she's a mom and she has a almost 2-year-old boy. So he's like 22 months or something like that, and named Case. And then she has twin boys, Asher Cade and Lane Carter. And they were both in the NICU. And Lane is like her miracle baby because he had health issues that I can't even begin to explain to you. But I know that. I know that her husband is Brock and they've been married for like, I want to say 4 years. Either way, he lost his job in the oil fields. Sometime in 2020, he lost his job. Sorry. And then I know that she loves everything Sonic, and that she loves ice chips. And that's probably going to prove my point. Okay. Sorry. I have never met her in person. I've never met her in person. And I know all of that because of her social media. And so I just want you to think about that because when people join you, they don't join you usually because of what you do. They join you because of you, because of something that you give them. And so all of you obviously joined me for a reason and you joined me because of me and not because of what I do. Does that make sense? Yeah, sweet. Okay. Um, I know that's a really, really short Zoom, but unless anyone has any questions right now, that's actually all I have. I wanted to keep it pretty short since I wasn't feeling good. And the biggest thing is the photos that I want to give advice for. So obviously, if you have any questions, I can go ahead and stop the recording and we can talk about it. But yeah, that's basically all I wanted to remember and just don't have any pressure about it being perfect. Social media is the place. I mean, we see a highlight reel, but like showing the days where you have a mom bun and it's a really hard day is okay. And showing the days where you're really struggling with your anxiety or depression is okay. And I think you're going to be surprised at how many people you impact through that. Like I posted one time about Granger, and how I was like, constantly like worried about like, is he learning the right things? Is he saying the right things? Is he hitting the right milestones? I was like going through all these things. And this mom commented that honestly, I've never interacted with. I don't know who she is. And she was like, I am struggling so much. My baby's got this defect right now and we're working with her. But literally, this post just made me tear up because I've been so scared thinking I was the only person thinking this. And I was like, oh my gosh, and my heart just like broke for her. And actually she wasn't the only person thinking it. And so it's just like amazing to me that people sit there and watch your stuff and they don't actually comment or interact or anything, but you're impacting them even though you don't know it. So that's the last thing I want to leave you with today.